Scene 3 takes us back to our friends, the witches, and this time what they're waiting for appears. So Macbeth shows up, accompanied by Banquo. They have just finished their part in the battle, and they are making their way back towards their fellow warriors and their king. But they are stopped by the witches, and the witches, as witches do, predict their future. So they tell Macbeth, first of all, they know who he is, which is a little spooky. They tell him that he is going to become Thane of Cawdor and then king. And they then tell them that Banquo is not going to be king, but his children are. And then the witches leave, leaving Macbeth and Banquo more than a little confused and maybe also a little excited about what they heard. So they're talking about how all of these things sound good. Like, who doesn't want to be king, right? Who doesn't want their kids to be king? Sounds pretty great. But the one problem is that there already is a king. So Macbeth is saying, I'm not Thane of Cawdor. There's already one of those, and we've already got a king. But if I was going to be king, might not be a bad idea. And Banquo's thinking, well, it's strange that you'd be king, Macbeth, but that I won't, but my kids will be king. So they're confused, a little interested, more than a little interested, maybe in Macbeth's case, when some messengers of King Duncan show up, amongst them Ross and Angus, and say, hey, look, the king is looking for you. You've done a good job. And Macbeth, congratulations, you're Thane of Cawdor. Well done. And Macbeth and Banquo kind of look at each other like, oh my God, the witches were right. So they're thinking about this while the messengers are filling them in about what's happened, and waiting for Macbeth to give the word to go back to the king. And so Macbeth kind of snaps out of his thoughts at the end of the scene, and Macbeth and Banquo head off to greet King Duncan together.